welcome to this week's Circle of Light. I'm so grateful for each of you being here, for your presence, for the uniqueness of your being. The wholeness of who you truly are is indeed welcome here, and I'm so glad that you are indeed here in this way. And so, first of all, I would just like to invite each of us to get into whatever position, whatever situation is comfortable for us, whether it's sitting, lying down. It could be walking or moving, standing, whatever just feels good for you, for your body. You can even ask your body what it would like to do during these next 19 minutes. And whatever your body says, I invite you to go along with that. All right. And so next, I'd just like to invite us, one of the parts of ourselves that can benefit within a practice like this is what I'll call our good brains. And in the conditions on this planet right now, particularly in the energies, there's a lot of neurological stimulation going on. And so I'm just going to invite us to engage in a few deep breaths on our own. So what I'm suggesting is take a deep breath in through your nose, and I invite you at the very top of that breath to hold it maybe a bit longer than you would in a typical breath, and then you can gently blow that breath out through your mouth. And I invite you to do that just 2 or 3 times here on your own at whatever pace feels good for you, and then I'll invite us into the next stage of the practice. So enjoy that breathing to help calm those thought waves. Very good. Wonderful. All right. And so with that, with our bodies comfortable, with our minds just calm down, slow down a little bit, I invite us to imagine a kind of sphere or bubble of light. It's lovely, it's spacious, it's swirling around with these iridescent colors of uh, wonderful blues and greens and yellows and pinks and purples. And eventually I'm going to invite us into that sphere of light if we so desire. But before we do, um, I want to invite your attention to there's a little cubby space actually next to this. The cubbies that I'm thinking of are the kind that I had in school where I would put my lunch in my backpack when I was younger, put my things. And I invite you that anything that you would just like to set aside for the next 17 minutes, I would just like to invite you, if you have anything you just kind of like to set aside for this practice, maybe something on a to-do list or a requirement or an unclosed loop, a project or task that you're working on, I just invite you to set that in the cubby, and it'll be there for you when you come out of the practice, whenever you decide to do so. And if you want to bring all of that in, that's okay too. All right, so we've put those things in the cubby that we want to set aside, and now I invite us to step through this semi-permeable membrane that is this bubble of light, this sphere of light. And as we pass through that membrane, we're entering into a space of total allowance, of unconditional love and acceptance for the wholeness of our beings. It's a space where we, in our own ways, can feel safe to express through the depths of our own beings, through the wholeness of who we are, those things that are uniquely ours to express. They could be desires for receiving, for healing. They can be things, even our own desires for service and contribution. Whatever these things are, whether they are more receptive or expressive in nature, this is a space where all of those things can be expressed. And within this space, I'm going to invite us to express those things within us directly to that which is greater than ourselves. And so there are so many words, and the words aren't important. The concepts, the ideas, the who. The important thing is that you are, in your own way, reaching toward that which is greater. However we conceptualize it is fine. Because what we are going to be engaging in here is this possibility of expressing these things to that which is greater. And then through the fundamental unities that exist throughout the vastness of all that is, that responses come, that responses that resonate with the expressions of our heartfelt desires come. And I invite us to exercise as much trust or faith as we can that these things that we express from the depths of our being are being responded to instantaneously in real time through the power of resonance, regardless of our ability to perceive those responses in this very moment. And we can trust that we will perceive those responses in the fullness of time or eternity when we're ready, when we're willing to. All right. So at this time, I invite us to express our deep and heartfelt yearnings for those things that we most desire, and to express these things toward that which is greater, with that trust that the responses are instantaneous, and that merely through the expression of these desires, that which is in harmony with these deep desires, that which resonates with them, is coming more and more into being. And through the unity of what is, through resonance, these responses from that which is greater, from all that is, these responses in resonance are available to each and all throughout the vastness of the cosmos for others, that others may experience an increase in these things. We've had expressed here a deep desire for health, for wholeness of our beings, for the health and wholeness of others, for that deep harmony that exists when all things are working together as they are intended. And as we express that desire, Source, that which is greater, responds, and that response through resonance is available to each and all, not only to us, but to all, regardless of our perceptions of separation or distance. And we've also had expressed in this space a desire for safety, for that sense that we are held in safety and in security, and that we desire safety for all of our parts and aspects, and safety for all of the parts and aspects of all. We have so many names for these parts and aspects, for our physical beings, safety even for our minds, our identities, who we think we are, safety for our biological beings, our bodies, safety for our spiritual beings, safety for our core selves. And within this space, I invite us to consider the possibility that as we allow ourselves to commune with that which is greater than ourselves, allowing ourselves to receive that which the Source offers to us, as we grow in that union, our perceptions, our awareness of those things that would help us to feel safe, even in challenging conditions, and that these very things would be available to each and all as well. That through this deepening connection, through this more profound unity with Source, with all that is, we can experience for ourselves and invite others as well into a much more profound sense of safety, regardless of circumstances, through an expansion of awareness and through an increase in our awareness of the guidance that is constantly being fed to us, information across a range of dimensions and frequencies available for us any moment to know what is required in that moment to promote our own safety as well as the safety of others as well. So I am grateful for these expressions. And I'm also grateful for the expressions of desires for greater light, for greater harmony, perhaps as we envision it and experience it in music, in rhythm, in dance, in beauty, in truth expressed through the interactions of all of the aspects of isness. And that as we experience these things, as we perceive them, as we allow ourselves to express our own unique beingness through light, through love, through our way of being, through our movements of all of our aspects, integrated and in harmony, that these essences of love, of light, become more and more available for each of us as unique beings and for all who desire to enjoy these blessings and benefits as well. And so, with those heartfelt intentions expressed, I invite us now into a brief period of silent communion, communication, contemplation, perhaps even contribution within this sphere of light and love. I invite us to express those things that are deeply and uniquely ours, to express them to that which is greatest and highest, and to allow the responses to come, to allow those energies and essences to flow toward us, to flow around us and within us and through us, helping us to engage in that powerful flow of energy and intention that is uplifting this planet, our species, this solar system, even the cosmos as a whole. And so, beloved beings, I invite us into a few moments of silence before I'll invite us out with some words of gratitude. Enjoy the silence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Each and all, one and all, for everything expressed within this sacred space and container, and for all of those responses that have come to those desires. And I invite us to allow ourselves, as we prepare to transition from this space, this vessel of light, I invite us to allow ourselves to integrate whatever has been received during this time together. These things may be subtle. To allow ourselves the time, the space to integrate that which has been received, that which is new to our beings, and also to allow ourselves space and opportunities to release those things that we no longer need to carry as burdens, defenses, limitations, ideas, temporary ideas about who we may think we are or that we are not, our resistance, all of these things as we become more and more empowered by that which is available. We're more and more empowered to release these things that we've taken on in order to survive in a harsh and challenging world. And so I invite us to be kind, gentle, patient toward ourselves as we depart this practice, and to also do our best to extend these qualities to those whom we encounter as well, so that we might be more and more those contributors of light and love in a world that is in such desperate need of these qualities. And so, friends, I invite us, if we desire, to step outside, to step through that semi-permeable membrane of the bubble of light, if we desire, everything offered as an invitation. If you desire to stay in and bask in the energies, that's totally awesome. If you desire to step outside, then you may do so. You can pass through that membrane. And if you set anything in the cubby outside of the bubble, feel free to pick up your things if you want, or if you want to leave them there, they'll wait there for you, or they can be transmuted to light. So many possibilities. Anyways, as we're coming back here, if we have gone into more of a mode of stillness and silence, then I invite us to just, maybe wiggle our toes, our fingers, readjust our bodily position somewhat to just make sure that we're fully engaged with our good bodies here. And we might want to open our eyes, look around, take in the colors, take in a few cleansing breaths here. And so, with all of that, I'm so grateful again for everyone's participation, those in the flesh and so many more in the realms of light and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Each and all, one and all our relations, and it is done.